Joshua 16, Ephraim's land. Ephraim and Manasseh are the two tribes descended from Joseph, and the following is the description of the land they received. The southern border of their land started at Jordan River east of the spring at Jericho. From there it went west through the desert up to the hill country around Bethel. From Bethel it went to Luz and then to the border of the Archich in Ataroth. It continued west down to the land that belonged to the Japhelet clan, that went on to lower Beth Horon, Gerzer, and the Mediterranean Sea. The following is a description of the land that was divided among the clans of the Ephraim tribe. Their southern border started at Ataroth, Adar, and went west to upper Beth Horon and the Mediterranean Sea. Their northern border started on the east at Janoah, curved a little of the north, then came back south to Michmetath and Katpath, where it followed the Kanath, George, west to the Mediterranean Sea. The eastern border started on the north near Jonah and went to be between Janoah on the southwest and Tanas Silo on the northeast. Then it went south to Ataroth, Nara, and on as far as the edge of the land that belonged to Jericho. At that point it turned east and went to the Jordan River. The clans of Ephraim received this region as their tribal land. Ephraim also had some towns and villages that were inside Manasseh's tribal land. Ephraim could not force the Canaanites out of Gerzer, so there are still some Canaanites who live there among the Israelites. But now these Canaanites have to work as slaves for Israelites. Joshua 17. Manasseh's land west of the Jordan River. Manasseh was Joseph's oldest son, and Machir was Manasseh's oldest son. Machir had a son named Gilad, and some of his descendants had already received the region of Gilad and Bashan because they were good warriors. The other clans of Manasseh tribe descended from Gilad's son Abilezer, Helek, Ashilier, Sechem, Heper, and Shemida. The following is the description of the land they received. Heper's son Zelophehad did not have any sons, but he did have 5 daughters: Balaha, Noah, Hoglash, Milcah, and Tirjah. One day, the clans that were descendants of Zelophehad 5 daughters went to the priest Eleazar, Joshua, and the elders of Israel. The people of these clans said, "The Lord told Moses to give us land just as he gave land to our relatives." Joshua followed the Lord's instructions and gave land to these 5 clans, as he had given land to the 5 clans that had descended from Heper's brothers. So Manasseh's land west of the Jordan River was divided into 10 parts. The land of the Manasseh tribe went from its northern border with the Asher tribe south to Michmekata, which is to the east of Shechem. The southern border started there, but curved even farther south to include the people who lived around Tapah Spring. The town of Tapah was Manasseh's border with Ephraim. Although the land around Tapah belonged to Manasseh, the town itself belonged to Ephraim. Then the border went west to the Canal Gorge and ran along the northern edge of the gorge to the Mediterranean Sea. The land south of the gorge belonged to Ephraim, and even though there were a few towns that belonged to Ephraim north of the gorge, the land north of the gorge belonged to Manasseh. The western border of Manasseh was the Mediterranean Sea, and the tribe started a border with the Asher tribe on the northwest and with the Issachar tribe on the northeast. Manasseh was supposed to have the following towns with their surrounding village inside the borders of Issachar's and Asher's tribal lands: Bethshem, Abalim, Endor, Tanakh, Megiddo, and Dor, which is also called Nephath. But the people of Manasseh could not capture these towns, so the Canaanites kept on living on them. When the Israelites grew stronger, they made the Canaanites in these towns work as their slaves, though they never did force them to leave. Joseph's descendants asked for more land. One day the Joseph tribes came to Joshua and asked, "Why didn't you give us more land? The land has always been kind to us, and we have too many people for this small region." Joshua replied, "If there's not enough room for you in the hill country of Ephraim, then go into the forest that belonged to the Perizzites and Rephaim. Clear out the trees and make more rooms for yourselves there." "Even if you do that," they answered, "there still won't be enough land for us in the hill country, and we can't move down into Jezreel Valley because the Canaanites who lives in Beth-shan and in other parts of the valley have iron chariots. Your tribes do not have a lot of people." Joshua admitted, "I will give you more land. Your tribes are powerful, so you can have the rest of the hill country, but it's forest, and you'll have to cut down the trees and clear the land. You can also have Jezreel Valley, even though the Canaanites there are strong and have iron chariots, you can force them to leave the valley." Joshua 18. Joshua gives out the rest of the land. After Israel had captured the land, they met at Shiloh and set up the sacred tent. There are still 7 tribes without any land, so Joshua told the people, "The Judah tribes has already settled in its land in the south, and the Joseph tribes have settled in their land in the north. The tribes of Gad, Reuben, and East Manasseh already have the land that the Lord's servant Moses gave them east of the Jordan River, and the people of Levi on to receive land like the other tribes. Instead, they will serve the Lord as priests. But the rest of you haven't done a thing to take over any land. The Lord God, who was worshipped by your ancestors, has given you the land, and now it's time to go ahead and settle there. 7 tribes still don't have any land. Each of these tribes should choose 3 men, and I will send them to explore the remaining land. They will divide it into 7 regions, write a description of each region, and bring this description back to me. I'll find out from the Lord our God what region each tribe should get. Just before the men left camp, Joshua repeated their orders. Explore the land and write a description of it. Then come back to Shiloh, and I'll find out from the Lord how to divide the land. The men left and went across the land, dividing it into 7 regions. They wrote down a description of each region, town by town, and returned to Joshua at the camp at Shiloh. Joshua found out from the Lord how to divide the land, and he told the tribe what the Lord had decided. Benjamin's land. Benjamin was the first tribe chosen to receive land. The region for each clan lay between the Judah tribe on the south and the Joseph tribes on the north. Benjamin's northern border started at the Jordan River and went up the ridge north of Jericho, then on west into the hill country as far as the Beth Aven desert. From there it went to Luz, which is now called Bethel. The border ran along the ridge south of Luz, then went to Ataras Arch, and on as far as the mountain south of Royal Beth Horon. At the point it turned south and became the western border. It went as far south as Kiriath Bar, a town in Judah now called Kiriath Jearim. Benjamin's southern border started at the edge of Kiriath Jearim and went east to the ruins and on Nephtah Spring. From there it went to the bottom of the hill at the northern end of Rephaim Valley. The other side of his hill faces Unknown Valley, which is on the land that slopes south from Jerusalem. The border went down through Hinnon Valley until it reached in Rogel. In Rogel, the border curved north and went to Insemesh and on east to Gilead, which is across the valley from Adumim Pass. Then it went down to the mountain of Bohan, who belonged to Reuben tribe. The border ran along the hillside north of Beth Araba, then down into the Jordan River Valley. Inside the valley, it went south as far as the northern hillside of Beth Horgal. The last section of the border went from there to the northern end of the Dead Sea, at the mouth of the Jordan River. The Jordan River itself was Benjamin's eastern border. There were the borders of Benjamin's tribal land, where the clans of Benjamin lived. One region of Benjamin's tribal land had 12 towns with their surrounding villages. Those towns were Jericho, Beth Horgal, Amakazis, Beth Araba, Jemarim, Bethel, Avim, Parah, Aprah, Chepar Ammoni, Omni, and Geva. In the other region, there were the following 14 towns with their surrounding villages: Givon, Ramah, Beloth, Mizpah, Chapira, Majah, Rakem, Iropio, Parala, Jelah, Halep, Gibeah, Kiriath Jearim, and Jerusalem, which is also called Jebusite town. These regions are the tribal land of Benjamin. Joshua 9:10. Simon's land. Simon was the second tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for each clan was inside Judah's border. In one region of Simon's tribal land, there were the following 13 towns with their surrounding villages: Beersheba, Shema, Molada, Haja, Shur, Bala, Ejem, Tolad, Bedu, Homa, Ziklag, Beth Markarboth, Hajar Susa, Beth Lebaoth, and Sharuhen. In other regions, Simon had the following 4 towns with their surrounding villages: and Rimmon, Takan, Eda, and Ashan. Simon's land also included all the other towns and villages as far south as Barath Beer, which is also called Ramah of the south. Simon's tribal land was actually inside Judah's territory. Judah had received too much land for the number of people in each tribe, so part of Judah's land was given to Simon. Zebulun's land. Zebulun was the third tribe chosen to receive land. The southern border for each clan started at the west, the edge of the gorge near Jokneam. It went east to the west edge of the land, leading to the town of Badesset, and continued on the Marara and Sarid. It took in the land that belongs to Rothabord, then ended at Baberath. The eastern border went up to Japhia and continued north to Gath Hepher, Eskajin, and Rimana, where it curved toward Nea and became the northern border. Then it curved south around Hanaton and went as far west as Iptalit Valley. Zebulun had 12 towns with their surrounding village. Some of these were Katath, Nahala, Simron, Jeraha, and Bethlehem. This is the tribe land, and these are the town and the village of Zebulun clans. Issachar's land. Issachar was the fourth tribe chosen to receive land. The northern border for each clan went from Mount Tabor east to the Jordan River. Their land included the following 16 towns with their surrounding villages: Jezreel, Chesuloth, Sunem, Haparaim, Sion, Nahalath, Devilath, Kishion, Jebej, Remeth, En-Ganim, in Hana, the Beth-Pazis, Tabor, Sahajuma, and Beth-Semesh. Asher's land. Asher was the fifth tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for each clan included the following towns: Helkath, Hali, Betan, Chashalp, Armad, Melach, Amad, and Bishar. Asher's southern border ran from the Mediterranean Sea southeast along the Shihol-Libnath River at the foot of Mount Carmel, then east to Beth-Dagon. On the southeast, Asher shared the border with Zebulun along the Iptahel Valley. On the eastern side, their border ran north to Beth-Melech, went east of Kabul, and then on to Nael, Abdon, Rehob, Hammon, Kanah, and as far north as the city of Sidon. Then it turned west to become the northern border and went to Ramah and the fortress city of Tyre. Near Tyre, it turned toward Hosa and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. Asher had a total of 22 towns with their surrounding villages, including Bahaleb, Akijev, Akol, Apek, and Rehob. Naphtali's land. Naphtali was the sixth tribe chosen to receive land. The southern border for each clan started in the west. Whether the tribal lands of Asher and Zebulun meet near Hakok, from that point it ran east and southeast along the border with Zebulun as far as Ajeznoth Tabor. From there the border went east to Harab, Adami, Nekeb, Jamneel, then to the town called Ok in Jananin, and Lakum. The southern border ended at the Jordan River at the edge of the town named Jehudah. Naphtali shared the border with Asher on the west. The Naphtali clans received this region as their tribal land, and it included 16 towns with their surrounding villages. The following towns had walls around them: Jiddim, Jir, Hamar, Rakath, Kinnereth, Adama, Ramah, Azor, Kadesh, Edrei, and Hajo, Ayan, Migdal, Haram, Beth Anath, and Beth Semesh, Dan's land. Then was the seventh tribe chosen to receive land, and the region for each clan included the following towns: Jorah, Eshtaol, Irsemesh, Hasravin, Ajijoran, Ithrath, Aaron, Timna, Ekron, Elteke, Gibeton, Balath, Jedhud, Ajor, Beneberak, Gathrimon, Jejarkon, and Rakkon. Dan's tribe land went almost as far as Joppa. Each clan received this land and these towns with their surrounding villages. Later, when enemies forced them to leave their tribe land, they went to the town of Leshem. They attacked the town, captured it, and killed the people who lived there. Then they settled there themselves and renamed the town Dan after their ancestor, Joshua's land. The Israelites were still gathered in Shiloh in front of the sacred tent when Eleazar the priest, Joshua, and the family of Israel finished giving out the land of the tribes. The Lord had told the people to give Joshua whatever town he wanted, so Joshua chose Timnath Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, and the people gave it to him. Joshua went to Timnath Serah, revealed it, and arrived there.